and welcome to a very special Let's Play by yours truly.
I like how you just had to pause. I don't even... Gojira!
It's Gojira!
Might as well get to
Gojira! Attack the old monsters, melee!
With Dolby Surround Sound Pro
So
Logic.
anyway, with
Well, pretty much
sorry,
anything
sorry
is
for Sam
Dolby.
interrupting or
Wait,
interrupting him.
what? Was that last part really a expletive, really?
Yeah, it was an expletive game. Bleep Atari.
Well, hey, here's some shameless promotion for Atari! Yeah, cause their games surely don't suck now.
So anyway, let me just do this
No.
intro, Stalin. So anyway, this is one of my first Let's Plays ever. This was recorded live to my computer, and it's on Nintendo GameCube, as you can tell. So anyway, I decided to start out a Let's Play of this game since it's pretty easy to play through, and there's 11 stages approximately. I think I'd have to count it again, but anyway, there's 11 monsters you can pick from, and we're seeing one of them now. We're seeing the 2000 version of Godzilla, or Gojira, as he is known in Japan. Here's my favorite Gigan. And here comes...
Yeah. He's awesome.
Megalon. Just tearing up the bridge.
He's got a drill for a hand,
Here
okay.
comes King Ghidorah.
It's the three-headed Hydra!
Here comes
Yes.
Odin. And here comes the...
And the useless army.
Yeah, why is it in every monster film, the military comes in and never stops to, oh shit, in Godzilla
Yeah,
they
but
did.
we're not counting that. That never happened. Yeah,
Not
we're gonna set to
piece
that
of shit
part out,
movie.
Stalin. In fact, one of us, one of us should make a deal with Mephisto and undo that movie. And in case you're wondering what that reference was from, well, go watch Linkara. So anyway, we got the monsters coming in for a free-for-all. And why are we zoomed in on their crotches?
Fan service.
And here comes the scary face of Godzilla.
Godzilla, destroy all the monsters!
So anyway,
Melee.
here's the cheat mode, which you can do in the game to get 11 continues, which pretty much is essential. You can do this to unlock other monsters, but it doesn't really work that well. To unlock the other monsters, you pretty much have to play as each monster at least once, and that's the best way to do it.
Just like any other.
So, Keith, this would be your first
Pretty much,
playthrough,
yes.
right?
And
What about a certain game? About a certain,
I know. I'm gonna get around to Mario eventually. It's like I said, I've been busy, you know, as you people who are familiar with my work, as an animator and artist.
I wasn't thinking about Mario.
No, let's not spoil it. Wait a minute. Let's not spoil too much, but anyway, also with Halloween coming up, and the regretful postponement of my annual Ghostbuster Luigi series, I thought I'd at least provide this. And so, Halloween is about monsters, so why not have the King of Monsters do an appearance today?
Oh, yes.
The king of all monsters, Godzilla, on the Monday. Well, I don't even think it. Does Halloween come around Wednesday?
Yeah, it's on Wednesday.
Ah. Yeah, it's kind of weird considering Halloween comes on a Wednesday. Like halfway into the week, you're gonna see little kids dressed up as random monsters, or better yet, every single kid in the world would be dressed up as the Avengers, because we all know they do it every year. Like last year it was Batman. Last year I think was
Yeah,
Green
that's
Lantern
actually
too,
something I've
wasn't
done
it?
with my brother. I sort of made him a bit of a Green Lantern outfit, and even made him a ring.
Yeah.
I
And
was,
actually,
Okay.
I was thinking of dressing up as Slender this year, but the only problem is I need a
so here's our
Sentai
first
suit.
monster,
That and
Eurus.
ooh, and it's a spiky little
Yeah, I know that
hedgehog.
reference.
Okay.
So anyway,
Yeah.
Godzilla
Mute-
Destroy All Monsters, as you can tell, is just basically a beat 'em up fighting game, and it's a lot of fun, but it is kind of hard to find. This is a second-hand copy I bought up at EB Games a few years ago, and excuse me. I'm very pleased that I did find it is a very satisfying game, but I gotta warn you though, the controls are a little bit sluggish sometimes and a little bit hard to figure out. But it's basically you gotta do different combinations. But it's a well worth to play game. You get a lot of satisfaction out of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of short, but still.
Well, if I would compare this game to another fighting game, I would compare it more to Power Stone. Part of this reminds me of Power Stone in the sense that you are in a full-range environment and I'm a fire in my laser!
Yeah.
Uppercut.
And actually, funny thing is that besides it reminds me of Power Stone, it also reminds me a bit of another certain game. What was it called? Oh yeah, Castlevania Judgment.
Oh, gee. Wait. Is Castlevania Judgment the one with the girl with the tiny breasts who complains about her breast size?
Bring that
Yep.
up still. Then again, that's just your dirty little
Yep,
mind.
that's the
You
one.
forgot about that.
So anyway, as you can probably notice, sometimes if you hit Anguirus on his spikes, you'll actually hurt yourself, and sometimes you'll look like you're hurting your hand or your foot. And sometimes, I gotta admit, it really looks kind of funny when Godzilla gives him an uppercut and he just goes flying up in the air like that.
I know,
Oh,
right?
My
Stranger
God. Oh!
Jeez,
Oh,
almighty.
no.
Did Godzilla just bitch slap him?
Oh God!
Rewind if you want to see that bitch slap.
Yeah, again, and
Oh.
POW!
Right in the testicles.
And
Yes, right in the
looked a lot
balls.
of little victory.
Oh my God! No!
Stalin, stop being a crybaby.
I'm not crying because of that. My stress ball popped and there's goo all over it now.
Don't make me think.
Oh
So pretty
no!
much, you probably wonder what that big smog thing is. That's apparently another kaiju. That's what these monsters are called. Apparently, it's every one of these monsters has been in a movie with Godzilla, and I've seen a few of the Godzilla.
And I noticed the smog monster also flying around.
Also, if you watch that yellow bar there when Megalon goes into the ground, that's what each monster sort of has special moves, and Megalon's one of the few that can do that. He can basically drill underground and tunnel. And you gotta watch where he pops up though, but sometimes if he does it for too long, he'll get tired, and that sort of gives you the advantage.
Yeah.
Ew.
And
Stalin, enough about your stress ball.
Don't
Yes. Enough about your ball style.
Hey, look at that, he just stomped on my phone a little bit. Oh no. I gotta warn you though, Megalon is one
man.
of the hardest
Oh
to play.
no! He threw Godzilla.
Yeah,
Oh.
actually,
Where are we at this stage? Are we in Pittsburgh or something?
I actually cut out the cutscenes because they did take a while. They're kind of dark and there's not much to see anyway. Basically, it's just
Yeah.
This is San
Yeah, I think it
Francisco.
is. If you want to find out what it is, go play the game yourself. But
I swear, this is not San Francisco. This has to be
Pittsburgh's
Pittsburgh.
not
San
in this
Francisco
game.
doesn't look this.
But yes, some cities,
Really?
most of the cities are Japanese. There's London. There's I think Moscow. I think is in this.
Yeah.
Moscow. La 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 la.
actually, so something just hit me. Actually, like, I know another similar game that plays like this. Actually, King of the Monsters. Basically, it's an old Neo Geo game. Basically, it's like this. They'll pick your monster, and it plays like, you know, your 2D wrestling game, but with monsters though.
Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. I need to find a bowl to drip all this goo on.
And,
Alright.
Unfortunately for me,
Sounds like a nice place,
Megalon just
though.
got the rage. Even though his health is really low, I'm gonna spoil it. I didn't win this fight. I had to rematch because of that. Yeah, and
That was a
what happens.
cheap shot.
I
The
know.
game mocks you. It says you lose.
You know what's funny is that even though like Megalon was doing his victory pose, that like the army was still
that's pretty
shooting
much
him.
automated. In fact, you notice those little flying saucers around? They'll occasionally drop little power-ups and all that, like those lightning bolts and the health things and the rages. So anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can attack them directly or not. I think you can sometimes. Also, if you're noticing, Megalon can drop little napalm bombs, and if you step on them, you'll burn your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Napalm.
Also,
Ugh.
if you look closely, like whenever you pick up something, it has to be flashing red. Then you can just pick it up and you can throw it at your opponent. And, oh god, he got it. And, jeez, right in the family jewels.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
That's a new one. And actually, you know what's funny is that every time, like, you know, like, God's... When you try to do that move, right, it looks like, you know, Godzilla is trying to do a break
Yeah, it does,
dance.
actually. Well, that's actually pretty advantageous to try to trip him up with your tail. But that's something I like to do if I get knocked down, because like I said, if I'm gonna get back up, I want to make sure they take a good hit too. So
Yeah.
once again, yeah, sometimes you can do that. You can take up all that energy, just unleash it in one big blast, and unfortunately it'll drain your meter there.
Did you just pick up a boat?
And now I just picked him up, and I can carry him a little bit. I can throw him into the electric barrier, and he'll take damage. But yeah, he's really got me mad, so now I'm just gonna back in the corner and make him suffer. And now I win.
Yeah.
I'm the king of monsters!
Serves you right, bitch.
Oh, here goes King Ghidorah.
Yes, King Ghidorah. He's, like, one of my favorites, though.
Actually, yeah, I've read a few Godzilla novels, and I actually read there's a part where they face off, and this jet actually blows his middle head right off.
Yeah, and actually, the funny thing is that during my first year of high school, I actually drew one of the most crappiest drawing of King Ghidorah, and I got like an A+ for it.
Yeah, you don't still have
Wow.
it, do you? Yeah, it's too bad.
I don't
you
have
post
any
that
more,
on
sadly.
Media Drive, you have to see that.
Yeah.
Also, King Ghidorah is one of the few monsters who can fly for a little bit, but like I said, that drains your power. Also, yeah, watch it when he stubs his foot. He does like a little dance.
Yeah. Or actually, no, actually, that's more like, you know, if King Ghidorah is like
Oh, yeah.
needs to go to the bathroom.
Kind of makes you.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
nice
jeez,
aim.
that's brutal.
Oh, now I'm
Nice
gonna get
aim.
the rage. Oh, now Godzilla's pissed.
Yes.
Hey, look, dude.
Man, my God,
It's a giant
man,
Atari
it's really
symbol.
disgusting. 'Cause it's different.
By the way, you know what Atari means?
Yeah, the Atari
Japanese?
symbol.
Atari means attack.
What?
Yep.
That's what it does? That's what
Yep.
it means? I
Yep.
had no idea. I would have needed to ask Jared.
Yeah, do you want to know the worst part about having this cup of Nickelodeon goo?
What?
It's just gonna solidify, because this is why I hate these stress balls. If they pop in the wrong position, they pop. They're unusable. I'm not the only person with this problem. There are actually tons of people out there that have had the exact same problem with their stress balls.
Stop.
Are they
I have
all
to ask you a
dead?
little question. What the hell does stress balls
Yeah?
have to do with Godzilla?
Well, when you're fighting monsters, you have a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
guess
stress. So
Monsters are the stress balls.
Oh, look at that guy. Gojira was just frozen, so I guess you could say he was frozen tonight!
I was frozen
Well,
today.
you see that perfect thing? Apparently that's another power called the Mamba Airstrike, and I got it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought it was moth or not a freaking
Well,
butterfly.
a moth, well, butterfly. Oh crap, I lost.
Well, yeah. Anyways.
This is why you gotta put
know,
in
where's
that
my
11,
other strap?
that 11 continues cheat, because I think standardly you only get 3, and it is pretty tricky to beat the game only on 3.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not good at fighting games either. As much as I like them, I'm no pro at them.
Well, it depends what kind of fighting game. If it's like Street Fighter, if it's like something like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, or something those types of games, I have no problems with. But if it's these kinds though, then it's a challenge for me.
The only
Games
three-dimensional...
like, I'd say games like Sonic the Fighters and I'd say like 3D fighting games, like before Street Fighter 4. Those games are pretty difficult.
Yeah, and actually one of the most like hardest like this type of fighting game was it was like some certain Marvel game.
Oh, we're referring to that game that should never be spoken of because of no Mega Man.
No. No, actually. Oh, and actually, I'll take a.
We're supposed to be talking about Godzilla Star. Let's not get too off.
Alright. So, let's talk about lasers!
Yeah.
There are lots of them! And apparently every time Godzilla shoots a laser, his scales become blue.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's the blue
It's a
laser.
yellow laser!
Well, it's because.
By the way, that's kind of like their final smash. What King Ghidorah just did was called the Death Storm.
Death
I like how
Storm.
Godzilla's like...
If you make an analogy, Godzilla is like Sonic and King Ghidorah is his rival, so I guess he would either be Shadow or Knuckles.
No, he'd be Knuckles.
Yeah, he'd be Knuckles.
Because he doesn't
Yeah,
chuckle.
if we want the anti Godzilla, it would most definitely be the Zilla from the, just Zilla.
Well, no, actually, no. Actually, Shadow will mostly likely be Mechagodzilla.
No, that's Metal Sonic.
Oh yeah, that's Metal Sonic.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
okay,
we'll
never
probably
mind.
see him
Anyways,
once that probably comes close, but- So anyway, I pick him up again.
Anyways,
Pow!
finish
Fly
her.
into the air. He's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's down.
Jesus, that was a high fly.
You.
Anywho, Godzilla won! Yeah, for
Here comes my favorite monster
Godzilla!
of all,
Time
Gigan.
for
I gotta tell you, he is easy to beat,
Gigan.
but he's pretty hard to play with.
Is that why he's
Not
your
exactly.
favorite?
This is the thing. Gigan is actually one of the villain monsters in this series. He's an alien cyborg, and he is kind of like our friend Stalin here. He's sadistic. Like, when you're playing as him, when you pick up your opponent, you can either throw him into the air, like you just did, or you can pull you close, throw you into the air, and he'll cut you on that buzzsaw he has.
Okay, so this guy kind of reminds me of that one Pokemon that's green and looks like an insect.
Scyther.
Yeah,
Look at that.
it's kind of like
Look
a
at that.
combination of Psy...
He
Mothra.
goes flying into the air.
Jesus,
and
double
what the
whammy.
zapping him. Hey, look at that. Now I
That's
just
a
hold
double
him up and
Mothra.
he zapped.
Good lord, Mothra is just helping
Also,
you
another
out
thing,
here.
Dragon knows how to do chaos control. I am dead serious. He can do that. He can teleport in this game.
Alright, let's
Well, I'm not playing
teleport.
this guy again. Remember, you might not see it. Maybe one day I'm
Oh.
gonna do some more Let's Plays of these. Maybe I might do all the monsters and show you what they can do. But for now, we're just gonna do Godzilla. Because it,
Yeah.
Alright.
the only thing that changes through it. The only thing that stays consistent, you always start on Monster Island, and unless you're playing as Anguirus, you'll always fight him first, and then you'll go to the alien mothership. I'm not going to say who you're going to fight there, though. So anyway,
Alright.
Yeah.
You know what? I just thought of something. You know how a lot of famous superheroes just learn these abilities already? Like, you know how Superman flies or runs at fantastic speeds and doesn't get nauseous, or when Sonic does his spin dash, he curls into the ball but doesn't get nauseous. And what about Godzilla? Godzilla is shooting a giant
technically
laser
speaking,
from
Godzilla's
bottom
a-
of it.
Well, yeah, and plus, yeah, he's immune. That was made from a radioactive bomb.
Well, still, doesn't that hurt to just blast that all out?
Well,
Not really,
there's
actually.
a lot more to Godzilla than you think. But I'm not an expert on it. But
oh,
apparently
alright.
There's something in him called regeneration or something. Apparently, his cellular structure could, I guess, in some sense, be a cure for cancer because it's constantly renewing itself.
Oh,
Yeah.
if that's true. Then why haven't they found a cure for cancer in the Godzilla movies?
It's hard to say, but I think it's mostly because they seem to spend more time trying to figure out how to kill Godzilla.
Well,
Oh, no,
I
it's
thought
frozen
Godzilla.
today.
I thought Godzilla was the ally in Japan.
Yeah,
Jesus, what the hell?
Technically speaking, now Godzilla is a good guy. In fact, he's part of what are called the Earth Defenders, and that includes Anguirus, Mothra, and a few others. I think Rodan's one of the good ones too.
I think King Kong is one of
Not
them.
technically part of the Godzilla series. He's something else.
No, not really.
Well, I know they made a movie about it. Like,
Yeah,
they made King
Yeah,
Kong.
actually, yeah, they actually made like a King Kong versus Godzilla movie. But interesting thing about that movie is that movie has two endings actually.
Alternate endings, who wins?
Sounds just like Jason versus Freddy or whatever that one's called.
Whoa, yeah. Basically, like, well, just to spoil it, is that Yeah, basically these two separate endings, you know, basically one for the US audience, the other one for the Japanese audience.
Basically, that's just it.
So essentially, the U.S. audience, King Kong wins, and the Japanese audience, Godzilla wins.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that movie. What
I
just
think
happened?
the same thing like
He
what
just
they did.
froze for a second.
Well,
I know,
I
that's
think
weird.
the same thing that they did with Alien versus Predator, whereas they had two endings. One ending, the alien ends up getting ultimately destroyed by Predator, and the other ending, the Predator gets killed, but I guess near the end of the movie, that the official ending, I think near the end of the movie, I guess he gets hit by a chest burster and ends up creating some kind of clone alien, Fred alien or something? Yeah, I think the hybrid became the focus of the sequel. I didn't watch the sequel.
So getting back to this, like I said, you've seen how it says Godzilla 90s times 8. That's pretty much how many lives you have. That's why I did that little cheat there. And it's not using action replay. That's an actual cheat you can do in the game itself. So I technically don't call it cheating. If you
Well, it's still it's called a cheat code.
Like I said, it's kind of hard to define really, but
Well, basically, to all of you, don't complain though. This game is already hard enough as it is, though.
Just give myself some extra lives. That's all I really did in this game.
Well, this is kind of like Mega Man and Base. Whereas,
Base is
oh
easy
boy,
mode.
is that game?
Well, if you can call it easy.
This is
No, this is
easy
normal
mode?
mode, actually. This is normal difficulty. No, I'm saying in Mega Man and Base is easy mode.
Yeah, Base is essentially easy mode. I beat the game as Base. Mega Man is the hardest.
Let's face it.
Oh yes.
Mega Man and Base is probably one of the hardest games to
I
play
know,
as
I
Mega
actually did
Man.
get close to being. I have to admit, I have played it, but I haven't beaten Dr. Wily in either one of them. But yeah, it is a lot easier with Base.
Wait, hold on a second. I'll be right back. I have no idea if someone just.
Anyways, Curio.
Bitch slap for the
You
win.
actually let out a roar
Yes,
yourself
it-
by pressing the right comment. Oh, this guy is scary. Destroy it.
Him. Destroyah. Oh, let me just get this out of the way though. Fun fact though, is that when they were making like Destroyah, right? Apparently they couldn't get a trademark for Destroyer. Instead, they changed it to Destroyah.
Apparently, he's named after the, I think it was called the Oxygen Destroyer that was used to kill the original Godzilla in the first movie. It's been a long time since I've seen those movies. I wish I still had, because I remember years ago on Space, they aired a bunch of movies. I taped a few of them, but I don't know whatever happened to it. But yeah, I wish I'd seen the movie he appeared in, because he is one fearsome. He's like something out of a nightmare.
Yeah.
This is the strange thing.
Yeah.
He's not a singular creature. He's actually a colony.
Yes, actually.
This is kind of overkill. This is overkill in this design. So he has two wings and two little wings.
He can't fly.
Yeah, and
he's also
yeah,
a
and
Dark
actually,
Lord of the
speaking
Sith,
of that,
apparently.
yes,
Oh,
and apparently, let's see, with this movie I saw with a Destroyah in it, right? That was like the only time where you actually see Godzilla died.
I think he
Actually,
was with his son.
Oh, Sam, you're still there?
Yes, I'm still
Yeah,
here.
I think I read up on that. Apparently, he went into meltdown.
yeah, because of his nuclear
I
reacting
think
heart.
what happened is his son was with him and absorbed the radioactivity, and he fights via Destroyer.
Yeah, and the thing is that like the army, right, like was freezing Godzilla so he won't he won't explode to spread the radiation.
Oh boy. Firing some more lasers, aren't you, Godzilla? You
Yes.
think you could fire that in the direction of Destroyer?
Like I said,
Destroyer!
Destroyer was frozen, but that's another thing. Aiming your radioactive blast is a little tricky. You have to use the C stick to get it just right. You can move up and down a little bit, but it's not that easy. You're better off to just aim it straight on like that.
And Destroyer has been destroyed.
Godzilla's all like, yeah, I won! Yeah, oh my god, what is that?
And apparently, Mecha King Ghidorah is a good guy. I am not kidding.
Okay,
He's part of some government force that found him in the future, turned him into a cyborg, and I guess he's like a few other mechs they have, like Gojira, which is excuse me,
Something's up
which is
this.
playable in another game that I might do a play of. It's called Godzilla Unleashed. I gotta tell you, the Wii version, some of the monsters are okay, some are ridiculously sluggish, but here's a little piece of advice. Don't ever buy the DS version. You're gonna wish you had. It is awful. It is quite possibly the worst game I ever experienced in my gaming experience. Trust me, don't play it.
Yeah,
don't buy it. If you get it as a gift, you got ripped off. Enough of that rant.
Alright.
Well, while we're on the subject of bad DS games, there actually is a game that I bought a while back for only $5. It is the equivalent to $5. It is called Ed, Edd and Eddy, Scam of the Century. Let me tell you, there are a couple of good Ed and Eddy games.
Yeah.
This is not one of them.
Yeah, actually, here's a good question, Keith. Is that speaking of that bad DS game, right? Okay, here's a good question. Would you rather play that one or the NES?
I don't know.
Godzilla?
I haven't played the NES version, but I heard that from the Angry Video Game Nerd. Neither one of them sound very pleasant.
Yeah, I played it before actually, and trust me, it's very difficult and it's very
basically
notorious.
The DS version just looks like a very lazy fan-made game that you can play on a computer. The graphics are, like I said, they're not even like Nintendo 64 quality. It's like I just said, it's like a fan-based game.
Yeah, it's more like
Okay, if we're talking about games that look like fan-based games, there actually was a game that came out on the DS that my little sister bought called Pet and Vet Care Center or whatever the hell it's called. All I know is that it was one of the worst DS games I've ever played, and look who it is! It's Mr. Alien Man!
Oh, actually, speaking of Halloween, is that let's see, all of you out there, if you ever plan to dress up as this alien, send us a picture.
Actually, a few years back, I actually made a costume that was supposed to be Godzilla, but I have to admit, it wasn't the greatest thing ever. It was mostly made of cardboard, and it kind of looked more like an alligator, if anything. But hey, at least I tried. So here we go. We're fighting Mecha
it's Mega Godzilla!
And I gotta tell you, he is hard. Now, you see this area we're in? We're surrounded by...
like a dog?
You gotta knock that stuff out, because if you don't, you are screwed.
Look at his face. He looks like a duck.
Like he's got missiles, he's got jets, he's got lasers.
Animal.
I have the strangest feeling this is the equivalent to the Metal Sonic battle in Sonic the Fighters.
Yeah, and actually, I can't believe I'm gonna reference this though. Is that if you ever watch Robot Chicken and see Mecha Godzilla, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Stalin, I just thought of something. Speaking of Sonic the Fighters, Wreck-It Ralph comes out a week from the night we're recording this.
Yeah.
Yay!
And the cool thing is that
the day that this gets uploaded is actually going to be, I think it's 2 days. It's going to be 2 days before Wreck-It Ralph comes out, and let me tell ya, that's a midnight release for me.
And you know what's cool though? Thanks to somebody, I got opening day tickets to watch it on opening day.
Well, let's just hope they don't
I know,
make the
I'm gonna
mistake
watch
and end
it.
up showing you a scary movie like the story I read. In fact, this is probably the second time I heard about this.
Oh, you mean the where they were gonna show Hotel Transylvania, but instead they showed Paranormal Activity 3?
This is the second time I heard a story like that, where they go to see a kids movie and end up showing the first few minutes of a horror movie and scaring all the kids. I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
How the hell do they do that?
I think they did the Hills Device too.
Look at Mecha Godzilla. He's just ducking like he's a coward. And how big is this mothership? I mean, you gotta remember, this is Godzilla we're talking about. He's tall as a building. So how huge is this mothership? Is this thing the size of a city or something?
No,
Actually,
it's the size of a spaceship.
Spaceship then.
Well, actually,
it doesn't matter. Like a spaceship.
No, actually, no.
Change size in your pants and leave it at that.
Yeah, well, actually, I was supposed to say is that actually, I think the only spaceship that could ever hold Godzilla that was mostly the spaceship from Independence Day.
Oh, by the way,
Oh,
Like,
right.
you noticed how we saw the Earth in those scenes? Like, if you look in the background, you'll occasionally see the Earth. Why is it we only see Earth from Africa? Can we not see North America or Asia? Or something? Why do we always have to see Africa?
From what I understand, that's one of the cheapest shots you can use of the
I
planet.
see, but
I don't know. They always get better shots of Africa than they do North America or any of that. Because I guess Africa is shinier on the planet. I don't know.
see, there we
I
go, there
don't
it
know,
is.
but there you go.
That's what I call laser to the face.
Yes.
You win.
You
And
win.
feed your
Godzilla
ultimate
teleports.
weapon, Vortaak. See you next time.
Yeah, we defeat you, Ultraman with a V-neck.
No, actually, Keith did because
Yeah.
he's the one who played this
it,
game.
recorded it.
Okay, my teeth defeat Ultraman
Yep.
V-neck.
So thanks for watching, and we'll have a happy Halloween, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah,
you-
see you guys.
You guys gotta watch the video of Lavender Town because it's gonna scare the shit out of you.
And
Stalin, you're a dork, Stalin.
yes.
Oh.